Hi everyone, today I'm here to talk about vocab because most of the students just face that problem. Whenever they read something or whenever they listen to somebody, they don't understand the meaning. And one more problem that how to memorize vocab. Some students just make one list of some vocab words which they understand, which they think that these words are important, and they make one list and start memorizing that, and after some time they are fed up, they don't memorize them, and after some days they just forget them. I think that is not good approach to memorize vocab. We can memorize vocab with reading part whenever we read stories, plays, or any other text. So in the context, we just memorize them without any effort, because these all things, these all words and structures are just fit in our mind, and unconsciously these all things are saved in our mind. So that is perfect way whenever we read something, and even we understand the correct meaning. We understand the flexibility of the word, that if we use this particular word here, it will give us that meaning, and if I go it somewhere else, it will give us different meaning. So in the context, to understand some words, that is important. So for the same purpose, I'm going to read one paragraph, and you will get to know about some words and their meanings. But before that, I will give you one list of vocab words which are important to understand and memorize, and we will use same words in that paragraph. So let's start it. Contrasting mean to say set in opposition, concerning, regarding something, or respecting something. Whenever we talk about something, sum up, it's a phrasal verb. Give a brief summary or idea of something, or to summarize something. See eye to eye, it's an idiom whenever someone is in full agreement with something or someone. Legislator, a person who makes laws or a member of a legislative body. Plead mean to say to present or argue for, especially in court or in another public context. Whenever we plead for our own interest. Customary mean to say any established by or based on custom or practice rather than common law, that is just our custom. Prolonged, continuing for a long time. Uproar, a loud and impassionate noise or disturbance. Persuaded, to convince someone. Prorogued, to discontinue a session of a parliament. Contend, to assert, to fight or to argue for something. Commence, to begin something. Aggrieved, feeling resentment or angry at having been unfairly treated. Deviated, depart from something or to go away from some point. Two contrasting issues concerning the legislature in two states appear to sum up the potential for political controversy when elected governments and governors do not see eye to eye. In the West Bengal Assembly, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and legislators of her party had to virtually plead with Governor Jagdeep Dhankar to start reading his customary address amidst a prolonged uproar by the opposition BJP MLAs. Mr. Dhankar appeared ready to give in to the protesters, but was ultimately persuaded into reading the first and last lines. In Telangana, on the other hand, the K. Chandrasekhar Rao government seems to have decided not to have Governor Tamilisai Soundararajan address the legislature before it presented this year's budget. Instead, it is treating the current meeting of the legislature as a continuation of the last session, that the session which last met some months ago was not prorogued, has given scope for the government to contend that it is just a further meeting. and it is not necessary for the governor to open it with an address. The ceremonial address is usually delivered in the first session of every year. Dr. Soundarajan has issued a rare statement to argue that the government's position was technical and it would not be proper to commence the budget session without her address. The episode appears to arise from points of conflict between the government secretariat and Raj Bhavan, and the ruling TRS seems aggrieved that the governor deviated from the text of her address last year and on some other issues too.